branches right here because we like to keep them at 8 feet tall, and we've been working on these couple blocks for a couple years, and they're pretty much in maturity. We're only going to be 8 feet, so you don't have to pick from a ladder. And,
so your first scaffold limbs, what should be? What, a foot
well,
off the ground?
I'll take it anywhere. I'll take them anywhere, of course, above the graft union, but anywhere in that top 2 feet, I'd like them to. I always tell people you basically have a band of fruiting wood about the yay big, and that can be 12 feet in the air or it can be 4 to 8 feet. So it's all the matter of where you want it. So if you don't start the tree low, you end up with a tall tree that you have to have a ladder on. So this tree's got some nice flat angles, nice branches. What I don't do is I don't clean it all the way out. I like to leave a bush in the middle for the first 3 years, and that helps to push these out and give you some good structure. So I've got lots of nice buds down there. I know I'm going to take that out eventually. I'm looking at 3 to 4 scaffold limbs. Your prevailing wind comes out of here, right up the hill. I'd like to have one branch facing right that way, but we don't. Yeah. If I planted it, if I was watching, I would have put my nice strongest branch right into that wind, so it would give me a little bit. But we don't, so we probably could make one go that way. What I like to do is kind of get these started and then come back around the 1st of June and see what I got and kind of take another look. I can even take that one down just a little bit lower. I'll try to keep it balanced. So I want a nice framework, 3 to 4 scaffolds. I really like one out on that side, so maybe I'll force one out. And then you come back, and that's all I do. You're done.
What are you going to do with that one?
I was going to leave that one.
Put it off.
That one's going to be a challenge because let's talk about it when I get there. But the same problem when you get a big diameter trunk. A lot of these lower buds are either dead or they've been rubbed off, so there's nothing to come out.
Now, how deep would you have planted that?
I would have gone another 3 inches, but I don't know what the protocol was. That's why I asked Jim. Usually on peach, you want to be right. You want to end up with that graft union kind of right at the soil line. So to me, that's a little high.
But if you got clonal rootstocks that are providing growth control,
that's right. Yes,
you don't want to have any chance for sign rooting.
No.
So you purposely left all these graft unions up to make sure, just like an apple.
Of course. No, you're right. Yeah.
If it was a seedling rootstock like Lovell or one of those, it probably make more
Very
sense.
much so. You
But
really
actually, I remember some work was done back in the 80s. Ron Perry did some work, and his came out of it recommending primarily that peach should be planted at whatever level it was in the nursery.
So you guys kind of eyeballed where the soil line was and planted.
No, actually, we were just sort of shooting at about 4 inches out of the ground.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do with apple on a clone. I didn't think peaches would sign a root quite as easy as apple, but I'll defer. So anyway, what do? I want to look for, again, I'd like to have some lower scaffolds, from here to here, but you can't be sure which, if every one of these branches is going to take. Some of these are already banged up and boogered up. So I usually kind of do this in 2 stages. I'll come in and I'm going to take it fairly hard, but I really want to see what's going to stay and not stay before. So all I do is I trim these lower branches off, not off, but back, especially when they look like they're really banged up and I'm not sure what's going to survive. So I'm not going to leave all these, but I want to see if the lower I can get those shoots to force out. So I'll come back in 2 or 3 weeks, or Jim's going to come back because I'm not going to be back. But if I get some nice ones down low, I'm going to leave those come out, and we'll head these back, Jim, and make a bush up here to force the lower ones out. So if I know I want to keep those, I might come back in here and keep that a bush. But I'd like to have them somewhere like, you don't want them all exactly right at the same space. You like them staggered as well. You like those scaffolds staggered. So, all right, we'll go do the hard one. Again, since it's such a big diameter stock, I don't think any of these buds are alive. They look like they're all gone. But you know what? You never know. Sometimes they'll throw a shoot out of the trunk. So I'd like to have that set right down here. But I can't fix that. So yeah, we could graft it. If we were in California, you could. You just slice it and do it. But on the East Coast, we don't graft or top work peaches too much. So what I'm going to do, I think, is just head this back, Jim, and pretty hard. And let's see what comes out. And by doing that, maybe we'll force a few lower ones out. Peaches will throw shoots out of anywhere sometimes. If we get a few lower ones, we'll take those and take the top. If not, you're going to live with it with your scaffolds up high. Does that make sense to everybody? One more, Wes?
Yep.
On the 35th.
On an apple, I would take that all the way back and make a Dutch cut, but peaches don't usually have a bud right underneath. But I see a couple breaks. So if you look at John's Y peaches, he'll always leave a little stub at the bottom. So we'll leave a stub, and I see a shoot here, a shoot here. The same thing. I think we'll throw some shoots out. If we get some lower ones out, we'll come back and prune that top back in about 2 or 3 weeks.
This tree, by the way, was produced at a different nursery.
How come we didn't plant that one deeper?
You were setting them. I was pulling the dirt in.
Well, we just had that dialogue. I mean, that's a good question, but they're all clonal rootstocks, so I have to agree with Wes. I think you want to make sure they can't scion root. So no, that's why you guys did that. That's a whole different take on the peach industry. It used to be all seeds, so we don't do that. And we're hoping we can get away from that and have some other characteristics.
If it wasn't a rootstock experiment, you could plant it deeper if you wanted to. Not too much deeper. You could have maybe gone a foot. Would it make a difference? Get a better tree?
I'm not understanding your
It
question.
wasn't a rootstock experiment. A grower got
Put it down here.
If it was a seed,
high, could you plant deeper?
oh,
Could you bury the grass
no.
So don't bury the grass.
No. The other rule of thumb that they just talked about was you pretty much want to be where it is in the nursery. If you go 6 inches different in the depth from the nursery, a lot of times the tree won't survive. Yeah. Well, it's all about oxygen. If you change that depth from where it was in the nursery, they don't usually take so good. So that's kind of a guideline too. You want to do a big tree now, Wes?
Yep.
Some of these guys.
This one that's not